Hello everyone, JR10 Desert Gold. This is the day after the 4th of July. I hope everybody had a wonderful and safe 4th. And I thought I'd do a quick update on the brew that I put together yesterday. And possibly, most likely actually, I finally figured out what I want to do with this. And so we're going to do a few things here today. We're going to brew up this Rum Runner Stout. I don't know if that, from Northern Brewer. This is a 1 gallon kit. And this is what's been giving me fits about figuring out what I wanted to do. Because I'm actually getting away from the 1 gallon kits. They're just not real practical as far as, I don't know, unless you're going to specifically brew one for a picnic and use one of these 1 gallon kegs to take with you like that. It's just a waste of time, and most of the time it's a big waste of money. This is a prime example. This is, like I said, it's 1 gallon, and that breaks down to 8 pints. This kit, when I bought it, I was kind of naive, and I was thinking that the shipping costs were tied into the quantity purchased, but it's more or less a standard as far as I'm finding out. The reason I say that, this is, like I said, a 1 gallon kit, and I'll show you what's in it. You've got the obligatory stockings. You've got the DME, which is just, let's see if it's 1 pound. And you've got your grains, your steeping grains. This adds the flavor and color to the water, the aromas. And you've got 2 packs of Northern Brewer Centennial. Yeah, they're both Centennial hops. So that's all you get, plus an instruction sheet and a packet of yeast. The shipping, the cost of this kit plus the shipping came to just under $50. And I was shocked about that. And I mean, if you do the math, it's over $6 a glass if your glass is a pint. I think that's absurd. And that's why I'm so adamant about trying to find alternatives to this stuff. And this happened to come in day before yesterday, and it's a prime example of how you can get around some of that stuff. This is from that company I purchased from. I just finished the brew video on this brown ale. It is currently in the conditioning refrigerator. And this came in, and this is a pale ale. And like the Irish Red before it and the brown ale, this is a 6 gallon kit, which means that every pint is 63 cents. Now you tell me, would you rather pay $6 for a glass, or would you rather pay 63 cents for a glass? I think that's a no-brainer. But we're going to brew this today. I'm not going to make any alterations on that. I'm going to go exactly how it says to brew it. And this is going to be the old-fashioned way, because this is not a flash brew. So we're going to go outside, and I've got to do some boiling. and I got to do some babysitting because this stuff, you know, it out of nowhere, you turn your back for a few seconds and it's going to overboil on you. So we're going to see how that's going, and then I thought I'd just give you a quick update on the brew we did yesterday. So let me move this and see what we can see. This is the Pilsner that we put together yesterday, and we're going to see how the fermentation is going. And as you can see, the Kveik yeast is having a dandy of a time, and this is only 1 day in. So another couple of days, we're going to have this moved to the conditioning refrigerator. That being said, let's take a look at a couple that have been already conditioned. Okay, it's another balmy day here in the desert. It's currently 106 degrees. I mean, it is so toasty that I have to put an extra shield in front of the outer wall of my kegerator just to reflect some of that heat. And then you don't want to grab that right now. If you needed water from the hose, you better have gloves on. But that's not what we're here for, right? Let's see if some of this beer is actually working. Well, first, I think we'll do the hardest one. Well, no. This here is another beer from MoreBeer, and it's their hot prophecy. It's been in the keg now for almost 2 weeks, and we're going to see how it's looking. That's looking pretty nice. This is a double IPA, and full disclosure, I did bump up the ABV a little bit, and it's currently sitting about 9%. So you can see I was heavy on the pour, but MoreBeer does create a wonderful kit. This is a hazy IPA, and let's see how that tastes. Wow. Okay. It is very grapefruit taste forward, as I say. There are other flavors in there. There's some tangerine, some orange. It's a dry, crisp finish. It doesn't have a lot of sweet malt to it, so this is perfect for this time of the year. It's refreshing, and it packs a nice little punch. The other one that I have is in the Pinter. Now I'll set this down so I can pour it. Okay, here's the Irish Red Ale, and this came from the ABC Select Craft kit, which is identical to the other kits. It's a 6-gallon kit, so every pint in this glass, if it were a pint, I'm not sure if that's at that point yet, but it would be 63 cents. So let's see how this one turned out. You can tell first off though, see how light and fluffy the head is? That indicates to me it's a more creamy finish than, say, what was present on the IPAs. So let's see how it tastes. Wow. Going from the IPA to that is quite a change. Anyway, what I get from this is a malt forward, which I expected, because Irish red ales are a malty beer. I'm getting a soft toffee or caramel-like sweetness, followed by a toasted biscuity grain flavor, and it finishes with a nice dry finish, which kind of took me off guard because I was expecting more sweetness in the end, whereas this is more of a, you get the initial flavors and then the dry finish, and it makes it more of a refreshing beer than you would expect from a heavy malted beer. I am very pleasantly surprised with this one. This was the one, like I said, this was the ABC Crafted Series, and I used 2 pounds for the 2-gallon brew of this, and I added, I believe, another pound of DME because I wanted a higher ABV than the standard 5% that most Irish red ales have. So it did come out to almost 7%, and that makes it still in the refreshing category as far as I'm concerned. The Pinter really infused with that pressurized fermentation. It really sorry, I thought I heard something. It really infuses the flavors of the grains, the malts and the hops, almost, in my opinion, at a molecular level, which is a more well-rounded infusion as opposed to, you know, forced carbonation and keg processing. So there's advantages and disadvantages to everything, and as far as I'm concerned, both of these turned out excellent. They have all the properties I was hoping they would have, and both of them are well under the cost of what I'm going to brew today.